Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into a staggering true story. I mean, we're talking about how a tiny, honestly, kind of insignificant DVD by mail startup totally rewrote the rules to become a global entertainment giant. If you've ever spent a whole weekend glued to your couch binge watching a show, and let's be real, we all have, the architectural history of the company we're looking at today is exactly why. So, the big question, how on earth did a scrappy little DVD startup absolutely destroy Blockbuster? In this explainer, we're going to explore exactly how an underdog defeated a global retail empire and changed our consumer habits forever. And spoiler alert, they didn't do it by playing it safe. They did it by repeatedly taking these massive, suspenseful risks that completely defied all conventional business logic of the time. Section 1, the Red Envelope Revolution. From physical discs to industry disruptors. Let's get into it. To really wrap our heads around this revolution, we've got to step back to the late 90s. This was an era completely dominated by traditional video rental stores. You know the ones. Well, in 1997, founders Reed Hastings and Mark Randolph spotted a highly unique business opportunity. At the time, VHS tapes were, well, they were bulky and super expensive to ship. But the newly invented DVD format, that was lightweight and practically tailor-made for the mail. So, by 1998, they launched their very first DVD rental site. This allowed customers to order a movie online and receive that physical disc directly in their mailbox, fundamentally altering the entire delivery mechanism for home entertainment. Netflix absolutely hit the nail on the head when it came to differentiating themselves. Think about it. Traditional rental stores were built on this super frustrating model of late fees, limited local stock, and the sheer annoyance of having to physically drive out to the store, right? But Netflix's revolution, which rolled out in 1999, was a monthly subscription model. This was a total game changer. It completely eliminated the agonizing pain of late fees. You just paid one flat rate, got access to a massive online inventory, and the entertainment came straight to your front door. That friction-free experience is exactly what caused early customers to just flock to them. Section 2, the Blockbuster mistake. The meeting that changed everything. Now, despite all that early traction, Netflix was actually facing some massive financial hurdles, and they desperately needed an exit strategy just to keep the lights on. In a moment of, frankly, incredible historical irony, Netflix went and offered to sell themselves to Blockbuster, but the corporate giant rejected them. They literally laughed the tiny startup right out of the boardroom. And today, that's heavily documented as one of the single biggest business blunders in the history of modern commerce. So, what happens next? How does a rejected, scrappy underdog pick up the pieces after a humiliating meeting like that and eventually topple the very Goliath that turned them away? Well, the answer is a literal masterclass in anticipating the future and having the sheer audacity to act on it. Section 3, the streaming gamble, cannibalizing their own success. The secret to their survival was actually their willingness to completely destroy their own deeply profitable business model. It's wild. Netflix didn't just sit back and relax after perfecting their physical mail logistics. Instead, they dove into the data and accurately predicted the future trajectory of broadband internet speeds. That foresight gave them the confidence to take a massive existential risk. They decided to shift their focus entirely to online streaming infrastructure. Basically, they deliberately abandoned the very DVD operations they had just spent years perfecting. I mean, today, we take all of this for granted, right? But back then, online streaming, which is the continuous transmission of video over the internet, was a monumental, incredibly risky technological leap. This move completely bypassed the Postal Service and brought movies instantly into people's living rooms. It cemented the absolute foundation of the modern entertainment era we all live in today. Section 4, creating original content. From distributor to creator. But wait, just when they had the whole streaming thing locked down, boom, a new challenge appears. There's a very clear dividing line in their corporate history here. In the pre-2013 era, their business focus was strictly being a content distributor. They relied entirely on licensing movies and TV shows from other networks. But to survive the skyrocketing costs of those licenses, Netflix realized they had to transform from a mere distributor into a powerful content creator. And that shift was permanently marked by the landmark launch of their series House of Cards. By launching House of Cards to massive critical acclaim, Netflix proved they could absolutely play in the big leagues. This transformation from distributor to creator sparked an absolute explosion of exclusive Netflix originals. But it was way more than just making good shows. This high-stakes bet fundamentally redefined how we consume television. It completely rewired consumer habits on a massive scale and officially brought the concept of binge-watching right into our everyday mainstream vocabulary.
Section 5. Global expansion, becoming a worldwide entertainment giant.
So fueled by this growing, addictive library of exclusive content, Netflix rapidly expanded internationally. And the legacy competitors? Well, they were suddenly forced to scramble to launch their own streaming services just to survive. Netflix's global dominance created an undeniable ripple effect across the entire entertainment landscape. Almost overnight, every major studio, network, and media conglomerate realized that if they didn't build their own direct-to-consumer streaming platform, they were absolutely going to be left in the dust. To summarize this explainer, let's just take a breath and look at the incredible arc we've mapped out here. We've watched Netflix's journey from a tiny startup that successfully took down the mighty Blockbuster rental empire. We saw how they ruthlessly disrupted physical media with their massive streaming gamble. We traced their transformation from a simple tech platform into a premium content studio. And finally, how they became a true global entertainment architect. It's just a deeply powerful lesson about the absolute necessity of innovation, constant adaptation, and having the guts to take immense risks. This incredible history of survival and reinvention leaves us with one final, pretty provocative thought to carry with us. If a tiny company shipping DVDs in little red envelopes could entirely dismantle the physical entertainment industry, then in our current era of constant, rapid technological adaptation, what industry is going to be disrupted next? Think about it. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and remember to keep questioning the world around you.